Hello, everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about a very cool CNCF project, OpenCost. My name is Matt Bolt. I am an OpenCost co-creator and maintainer, founding engineer at KubeCost, and I'm currently in the role of principal engineer at IBM. Before we get started, I just wanted to point everyone to this QR code that you will see pretty much on every single slide. Definitely scan that if you're interested into the OpenCost activities going on here at KubeCon Atlanta. All right, so we got 5 minutes, and despite my last name being Bolt, I'm not related to the sprinter, so I'm going to do my best to keep it as quick as possible. We're going to talk about the why, what, who, how, and in what world in 2025 do we not talk about AI? So why do you need Kubernetes resource cost management? May seem like a really obvious question. But these two things are interlinked in a way that I think yields great Kubernetes best practices, and likewise, Kubernetes best practices yields the best bang for your buck. In general, we care about spend, and likewise, because we care about spend, we seem to optimize our usage. And because Kubernetes is sort of expanding its user base every single day, it's prone to bad practices. Bad practices yields high spend and waste. And budget, budget you absolutely are going to need to reinvest into your team for security, reliability, scalability. So there's this interlinking between how much do I spend on my cluster, what type of, how do I manage my cluster resources, and then also how can I reinvest back into my team? So what is OpenCost? So OpenCost is essentially a project, incubating project in CNCF. It gives you a single pane of view into your Kubernetes spend, specifically not all node-based. We take cloud provider data, cost data on nodes, and we map it back to pretty much every single Kubernetes primitive there is. We support the major cloud providers. We are always open to taking contributions for additional cloud providers. I know that we have Oracle support. We also support a fully custom stack for air-gapped and on-prem as well. So what's measured? Essentially, we are measuring anything that costs money. And then we're mapping that back onto your Kubernetes stack. One that's not mentioned here is network cost and insights. We do per container network cost. We have a separate container that you can run, a daemon set that will actually monitor your node network insights. So some possible use cases for OpenCost. This is a pretty contrived example, but it demonstrates the power, is let's say you have a prod namespace in a cluster and it's all of your cost of goods, and you have a dev namespace that's basically R&D. And I'm no accountant, but I think there's some pretty heavy tax implications there. So another common use case is a shared cloud account that is shared across multiple teams. So let's just say each team gets its own namespace, or let's say you add labels to all your resources by a team name. You can subdivide and slice and dice those costs however you want to. And this lets you do things like chargeback to specific teams. So currently we are the only open source project that's on the CNCF landscape that's, as you saw, there's some nice categories in the presentation, a couple before, in the continuous optimization category. And we're continuing to grow. We've been continuing to grow since 2019. And so who has been helping us with this growth? So all the major cloud providers have provided contributions to OpenCost. KubeCost, Randoli, there is a long list, Adobe, there's a long list of big names that have contributed to the project. And so how to get started with OpenCost? So we're on GitHub. open source, extensible, you just one Helm install away. I also believe we have some standalone manifests you can use to install as well. There's some other chart options besides just the OpenCost Helm chart. There's KubeCost free, and there's Randoli. Those all are built on the latest and greatest OpenCost. So back to it's 2025, AI is everywhere. We just had a contribution last month to integrate an MCP server, and if this plays, okay, good. This is a very 800% speed up video, but essentially I hooked Cursor up to our MCP server and asked it, hey, can you analyze the costs on my Kubernetes cluster? And it sort of gave me a pretty nice summary analysis. And then I followed up with, using the analysis before, can you provide me some insights on how I might go about saving money? And it printed out 3 guides, all in Markdown format, on how to go about achieving savings by right-sizing specific containers, and insights on where I might manually, and even sort of over time guidelines on how to integrate a savings plan based on the cost data directly received from OpenCost. So this is a pretty exciting feature. Again, everything, as it is with everything AI, you take it with a grain of salt. So again, I will be hanging out for a while after this talk, so if you have any questions, please, you can meet me probably out in the reception. I've been pounding coffee all morning. Don't forget to scan the QR code if you're interested. We have all this information on OpenCost on that page. And thanks.